morning, guys. Today we are going to continue with the story, The Times and Life of the Ant, written and illustrated by Charles Misucci. Today we are going to read two headings. The first heading is called A Life of Work, and the second heading is called Grassroots Highways. We are going to also, when you guys finish, or either at the same time as I'm doing the class, or when you stop the class and then you want to do the work, you can do it. You're also going to be filling out this form. We already did asking questions and determining importance. Now we're doing another reading strategy that is called synthesizing. Basically here, not only you're summarizing, you're also giving your thought process of the things that you think are important and you're learning through this non-fiction text. Okay, the paper or the format or the chart has 3 squares. The first or the top squares, it reads, before I read, I was thinking. So before we start reading, you guys need to fill that out, right? You can write 2 or 3 facts about what you're thinking, or your ideas about what you're thinking before you start reading this part of the text. Then in the middle it says, while I was reading, I was thinking. And then the last part is, after I read, I was thinking. So then you're going to stop every page, or every so often you're going to stop and you're going to write 1 or 2 things that you're thinking as you read. Remember, now you're not only stating facts, you also are giving your kind of an opinion, or the way that you are interpreting the facts that we are learning about ants. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes so you can fill out the top part of the chart, so we can start reading the story. And as we read the story, I'm going to be asking questions to redirect and also make you or walk you through filling out this chart. Okay, let's start. A life of work. Or maybe let's start filling out the chart. Before I read, I was thinking, let me give you a couple of examples of ideas of what to write here. Before I start reading, I was thinking that ants are very resilient and resistant. They have been on Earth for so many years, since the dinosaurs, and that's incredible. Also, I was thinking that they are very smart and crafty. They use everything and nothing goes to waste. And they all work, all of them, from the day they're born until they die. And that's so interesting. Now, we are going to start filling out the second part as I read. Remember, I'm going to stop and I want you to start filling out the second part of the chart. A life of work. Ants begin their working lives by cleaning themselves. That's so interesting, right? In a couple of days, they start sharing food and licking each other. Remember, they lick each other to start recognizing and creating a bond, right? So they can learn and get to know each other, so they can work together, because remember that they work in teams. These food exchanges bond the colony together. There is no boss ant, which is interesting. I always thought that it was a queen, that it was telling everyone what to do, but no, there is no boss ant. There is no boss ant, but active ants usually begin doing chores and then other ants join in. Younger ants work in the nest, tending the queen ant, feeding larvae, and digging tunnels. After a couple of months, the ants leave the nest to search for food. There is no retirement. Worn out or battle-scarred, ants work until they die. Queen tender. Young ants help the queen deliver her eggs by grabbing the eggs with their mandibles. Nurse ant. Ants lick larvae so they do not dry out, and feed them so they grow. Number 8. Foragers. The oldest ants search for food. Most foragers search within 50 feet of the nest. But if food is scarce, they may travel thousands of feet. That's so interesting, right? Guard. When ants first leave the nest, They stand near the entrance, blocking strange ants from entering. Tunnel digger. As the population grows, ants dig more tunnels for the increased traffic and new chambers to store eggs and larvae. Digging holes can be hard work. To remove a pile of dirt 6 inches high, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches long requires 500,000 loads of dirt. I think all of this information is so important. So I want you to start filling out the middle part of the chart. While I was reading, I was thinking, I want you to start telling me what were you thinking. For example, I think it's so interesting that since they are babies or since they are born, they start working and they help around with everything, either leaking larvae, right, to prevent them from drying out, or just helping the queen delivering her babies or her eggs. So that's so interesting. So you could start putting, right, your opinion or your thinking on the chart. Now let's move on to the second heading. Grassroot highways. Some ants connect their anthills to food sources by a system of ant trails. I didn't know that they were making trails or they were making trails. So that's so important. Not only they make tunnels, they also make trails. Unlike scent trails, which are invisible, these trails can be easily seen. Construction crews remove grass and twigs to form paths 2 to 6 inches wide that may stretch over 600 feet. Wow, right? That's so long. When food is plentiful, 1,000 ants per foot crowd the trail. Established ant colonies may travel over the same grassroot highways for many, many years. Harvester ants construct their trails to wildflowers, where they collect seeds. Surrounding their ant hills, discarded seeds sprouts into new plants. So they help, not only they make trails, they also help plants grow and develop. In forests, wood ants connect their ant hills together by ant trails. Large wood ant colonies transport thousands of caterpillars and insects a day over their trails. Some ant trails are so well preserved, meaning that they last for a long time, that large animals such as deer and even people may use them as footpaths. So we probably have used trails that were made by ants. Isn't that amazing? Not only they help plants, they also help us, making our lives easier. Now I'm going to read page 419. Army ants form living bridges to cross streams by linking themselves together. They're always helping each other, which I think is amazing. That was something that I will write on the chart. Many kinds of ants dig tunnels under streams and others obstacles. Leaf cutters ants can dig tunnels 500 feet long, which may be bypass several streams. So they're constantly digging and making tunnels to connect themselves to different areas. Harlow Shapley, an astronomer whose hobby was ants, tested their speed. He discovered that they ran faster on hot days. So they're constantly reacting to their surrounding and their environment. And that's very interesting, right? That when it's hot, they actually walk faster than maybe a regular pleasant day. Now I want you to stop again, and I want you to fill out the last part of the chart, right? Where it says, after I read, I was thinking. There I want you to write 2 or 3. In the middle, I want you to write like 4. And on the top one, with 2 or 3, it's okay. When you finish the format or the word chart, send it to me over your email or take a picture of the hard copy and send it to me through your email as well. Have a wonderful rest of the day. See you tomorrow. Love you. Bye-bye.